Welcome to Troy Planning Commission meeting for October 11, 2017. Please call the roll.
Mr. Cappers.
Here.
Mayor.
Here.
Mr. Wolke.
Here.
Mr. Titterington.
Here.
Mrs. Mahan.
Here.
Mr. McGarry.
Here.
Mr. Forrest.
Here.
All members are present.
Okay, we have the minutes before us of our September 13th meeting. Are there any additions, corrections, or deletions to those minutes?
Move for approval.
The motion to approve, is there support for the
Second.
motion? There's second, Mr. Forrest. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? They are adopted. Next, we have the introductions for Troy Main Street. Mayor, do you want to make the introduction?
No, I think D is a
D's
good
gonna
one.
make the
I could, but D's been,
Will somebody step up to the plate and do the introduction?
I would
Okay.
love to do that.
All right.
Troy Main Street has now hired our new executive director, and she has hit the ground running. So we want to introduce Nicole Loy, and if she wants to come forward and just tell a little bit about herself, that would be great.
No, that's fine.
Hi there, I'm Nicole. I am, as Dee said, the new executive director for Troy Main Street. I started last Wednesday, so I've been here a full week. Have met about half of you, but it's nice to meet all of you, and hopefully we'll be having a strong relationship from here on out.
Good. Good luck in your position.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, the first matter to come before the commission today from staff is a rezoning application. Staff have a report?
Yes, we do. Thank you. The rezoning comes to you from Burkhart Engineering on behalf of the owners. This is essentially 3 parcels located along West Market Street, known as the Valero gas station. Currently, 2 of the parcels are zoned into light industrial, and 1 parcel, which is currently vacant, is zoned R5 single family. The intent is to combine the parcels into 1 parcel, rezone that to the B1 zoning district, and the goal is to demolish the existing gas station and then rebuild a gas station with a convenience store in it, in the space there. In order to achieve that, a rezoning was needed. The B1 local retail district is intended to serve adjacent neighborhoods, and when you look at the zoning around it, there's OR1 to the north, which all of those are utilized as residential, and then it's surrounded by R5, which is already single-family residential. So the B1 does support a gas station as a permitted use in the district. Staff does recommend no public hearing, and we do recommend approval.
You hit on the first matter to come before the commission, and that is whether or not we want to hold a public hearing on this matter. Does the commission have any action they want to take on that?
I'll move that we not hold a public hearing.
I'll second.
Okay. Any further discussion on that? Please call the roll. The affirmative vote, by the way, is not to have a public hearing.
Mayor.
Yes.
Mr. Wolke.
Yes.
Mr. Titterington.
Yes.
Mrs. Mahan.
Yes.
Mr. McGarry.
Yes.
Mr. Forrest.
Yes.
Mr. Cappers.
Yes.
Unanimous approval not to have a hearing.
Okay, next thing to come before the commission is the decision on making a recommendation to Troy City Council on the rezoning effort.
Move for approval.
There's a motion to approve. Is there support for the motion?
Second.
Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Mr. Wolke.
Yes.
Mr. Titterington.
Yes.
Mrs. Mahan.
Yes.
Mr. McGarry.
Yes.
Mr. Forrest.
Yes.
Mr. Cappers.
Yes.
And Mayor.
Yes.
It
Next
is
matter on
approved,
the-
recommended to council.
Sorry to cut you off like that. Next matter on the commission is the rezoning application. The staff report.
Yes, we do. Thank you. The city of Troy is the applicant in this situation. This property was recently annexed into the city. It is owned by Ronald and Jane Filippo, and they have currently county zoning of R1 AAA, which is single family, and we're requesting that they obtain city zoning of R3 single family residential. When you look at the map and the surrounding uses next to them, across the street is a residential subdivision plan development, and then you have R3 directly to the east, and R4 also around them. So the R3 fits the property, it meets all the requirements of the R3, and that is what staff is recommending.
Once again, what we have is whether or not we want to have a public hearing on this matter. It's going to have to become before council for public hearing. Does the commission want to take any action on the public hearing issue?
Move not to hold a public hearing.
There's a motion by Mr. Forrest. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Wolke. Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Mr. Titterington.
Yes.
Mrs. Mahan.
Yes.
Mr. McGarry.
Yes.
Mr. Forrest.
Yes.
Mr. Cappers.
Yes.
Mayor.
Yes.
Mr. Wolke.
Yes.
It's approved, there will not be a hearing.
The next matter is the recommendation of Troy City Council concerning the rezoning. I will note that this is rezoning of a piece of private property owned by individuals who haven't shown consent in the record yet, but staff has indicated that they have verbally approved the rezoning, and the staff will probably have something in writing by the time it gets to city council.
We will definitely have something in writing from them.
Okay. Commission want to take any action?
Move to approve.
Motion to recommend to city council
Yes.
the rezoning. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Dean. Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Mrs. Mahan?
Yes.
Mr. McGarry?
Yes.
Mr. Forrest?
Yes.
Mr. Cappers?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes.
Mr. Wolke?
Yes.
Mr. Titterington?
Yes.
Motion is approved, recommended to council.
Okay, next we have a couple of other matters that the commission has now been informed of. Mr. Davis, you want to take the first one, which would be the Fox Harbor preliminary plan?
Yes, thank you. We have Frank Harlow in the audience. He is on behalf of the owner, the new owner of the property, Harbor West Land Company LLC, applied for a preliminary plan for Fox Harbor. Back in 1990, Fox Harbor subdivision was heard before the Planning Commission and approved by Planning Commission. With a very similar layout that comes before you today, you have essentially the same development with a new owner who is proposing to build that out as it was intended. And since you haven't had a chance to do this, I'll go into a little more detail than the other reports. The area of the subdivision is 69.294 acres of land. It will result with 208 building lots. There'll be 2 other additional lots. One is already an existing pond that is proposed to be regraded, and there is 1 proposed detention area, which will equal 210 lots total. As stated earlier, just 208 of those will be buildable. Roadways, there are 5 roads that are proposed to be extended. Those names are Fox Harbor Drive, Liette Drive, Newcastle Drive, Douglas Drive, and Executive Drive. There are 3 new roads, Darla Circle, Angela Circle, and Edwards Circle. Newcastle Drive and Fox Harbor Drive, there's a map, the plan attached to your report. Those are the bigger roads that have a 60-foot right-of-way requirement. That has been provided. The other roads will be at 50 foot of right-of-way, which is also required but has been provided. We are proposing 5-foot sidewalks throughout the development. This will connect to the existing Fox Harbor first 3 sections, so they will all be connected by sidewalk. The matter of open space, the developer is proposing to do fees in lieu of, instead of providing 3% that is required by the subdivision regulations. That would result with $104,000, which would go to the Parks and Rec capital budget. Over time, it's not paid up front. It's as housing development or housing permits are applied for, that $500 fee is then accepted by the city. Staff is recommending the fees in lieu of because of the proximity to Kings Chapel Park, which is connected by sidewalk from this subdivision, which does exist in Kings Chapel. The park at Kings Chapel is 7.2 acres, has a playground, a pond, and houses a community center as well. So it's a fairly large park. We went ahead and measured the Kings Chapel subdivision and the Fox Harbor subdivision. If they had their own parks, they would be required to have 5.1. As stated, Kings Chapel Park is over 7 acres.
How
So
much is the pond that's totally useless to use for park?
I did not measure out the pond separately.
The majority portion of that park is that pond.
Yeah, it's probably used for, I know there's some fishing that goes in there, that's about it. And then this was taken to the park board on October 3rd for the fees in lieu of. And I think the park board had requested it be tabled. I think they were waiting on some more information at this point, and it's my understanding that it will be coming to their next meeting of the park board.
Yeah, may I address that?
Yes.
I just want to let you know that staff did bring that to the attention of the park board for a recommendation to the planning commission as to what the park board wanted to do as far as accepting the fees in lieu or accepting real estate pursuant to the ordinance. Tim wasn't available that day, and staff came to us asking us to accept fees in lieu without any information concerning the amount of money that would be placed in fees in lieu, without any information as to the amount of acreage would be provided in lieu of fees in lieu. So we really didn't have anything to go on. So we tabled the matter. It's on the agenda for the next meeting. I personally am not comfortable dealing with this until the park board makes a recommendation one way or the other. To do so, the recommendation, the planning commission considers this without a recommendation of the park board. It makes the park commission a farce, in my opinion.
So are you recommending a table motion?
I recommend that we table it. I don't know if it's my position. Yeah, I can do it. But I would move to table this issue today
Until part.
until Park has a chance to consider the issue.
Consider the issue to make.
Go ahead.
And does the park board meet before the next planning commission meeting?
Park Board meets the first Tuesday of the month, so the next meeting would be.
So it would be second week in
Right.
November before we see it again.
We could always have a special meeting if necessary.
Is the developer, any comments on that?
I don't know. And then,
Frank is here, yes,
yeah.
in the audience, so.
You don't have a problem, Frank? Personally, I like the idea, but I'm only one of three. And we didn't have this information last night.
No, I think that's important. I'll second the motion.
There's a motion, a second. There's no discussion on the motion to table. Please call the roll.
I'm moving, okay? Mr. McGarry.
Yes.
Mr. Forrest.
Yes.
Mr. Cappers.
Yes.
Mayor.
Yes.
Mr. Wolke.
Yes.
Mr. Titterington.
Yes.
Mrs. Mahan.
Yes.
Motion to table is approved.
If you'd be prepared to go and discuss that at the Park Board meeting, I appreciate it.
Certainly will.
Thank you. Any other matters? from the Board Commission?
Just real quick, I just want to point out, I gave you guys a handout of the 31st Planning and Zoning Workshop coming up on December 1st. There's the topics that will be discussed. If you would like to go, we will certainly get you registered and arrange for carpooling if interest. So just let me know if you would like to attend.
Thank you. Gareth Johnston, how you doing? Hey, we've got you down here in the other matters section. Did you want to address the Planning Commission today? Well, come on up. Copies for everybody.
I think there's more.
By way of introduction, Gareth Johnson is the president of the
City Beautification Committee. And I think you have in your packet, yeah, that's it. If you would like for me to go item by item and explain, I can do that.
No, just explain to us what this is, first of all.
What this is?
We haven't seen it.
This is our budget. This is our
Okay.
budget for next year on how we're going to spend our money that's allocated by the city.
Okay.
It includes money that we allocate to the interstate, to the Cloverleaf Group. It allocates money for, as you can see, the levee beds up along the levee that are taken care of by our committee, the city beds, which are taken care of, and there's quotes in here from the different contractors that take care of these areas. Also includes the baskets that you see on Market Street, Adams Street, downtown flowers, city pots along the city building, the urns. That's about it for that. Proudy Plaza and the brick planter on Proudy Plaza. And then on the last page, you'll see there's Christmas items that deals with the Santa house, Christmas lights around the square, the tree in the middle, everything electrical, lighting or whatever, and on the levee. So this is our proposal to be presented before council.
So the total budget, $62,361.98?
Yes,
is that right?
they separate them out because sometimes we lose a sign, or they put that in the category where we have Arbor Day.
Okay.
So we can buy trees, plaques. We have been lucky enough to have books that we pass out to the schools donated from Kiwanis Club.
Do you know what the budget was last year?
No, I know it was more.
It was more last year.
Yeah,
Oh, it's going in the right direction. then, isn't it?
yeah. A few thousand more.
Oh, Mr. Terry, would you like to make a comment?
Thank you, as always. This is very consistent with last year. It'll actually be right around the same amount because there is another $1,500, I believe, that we will allocate that will cover some park department expenses related to this and materials, but certainly nothing out of the ordinary.
Now, is this a part of the park department budget, or do they have their own
No,
budget?
it's, nice try. It's a separate allocation and budget in the general fund.
Okay, thank you.
And also I have, this is going to be the color palette that you'll see around town next.
Looks nice. Great. We'll pass it up.
Does she have the Sherwin-Williams color number?
You pass that around.
And I want to make a comment that the flowers look really nice this year.
It's the same.
Now, I can't tell you what flowers are going to be where, because certain flowers can go in baskets and can't go on the ground. Certain flowers can be in pots and not in the ground. So I don't know the kinds of flowers and what colors will be where, but those will be the colors that will be distributed around the...
Okay. Any questions of Mrs. Johnson?
I do have one. I had met earlier, and I apologize, Gareth, I forgot to ask this question. We were talking about the pots that Troy Main Street has
Right.
in front of the buildings. We recommend the flower colors or the flowers that go in there?
We recommend the flower colors, and then the person that's going to be doing the planting will coordinate their colors with whatever materials are going to be best in those pots.
Okay, and that, the amount of her work for that is Troy Main Street pays for that?
It is billed to Troy Main Street.
And what is the approximate cost of that?
The approximate cost, I think, last year was $70 a pot.
How many pots?
I think there's around 70, 60-some 70 pots that go around
I
the...
got two. They're really nice.
Yeah.
Businesses.
Now, they didn't start out very well, because I think what happened was that when they were planted, they weren't planted soon enough to have a nice full growth so that they had a nice appearance when you put them on the street. So, but they did turn into very nice flowers, and especially the people that took care of them.
Yeah.
So,
Any other questions, Mrs. Johnson? Gareth, thank you very much.
you're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Need my pictures back.
You want the original right on here?
Can I have a copy?
I don't want to back there, it's on the desk.
Okay, thank you.
Tim, do you
I
have
just want
anything
to
else from
file.
the commission?
I do not, thank you.
A
Thanks,
lot of people
Garrett.
out in the audience. Does anybody else have anything? Okay. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion is second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We stand adjourned. Thank you very much.
Bye.